All right, let's get started. Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us for our second virtual INT Tech Talk. I want to say thank you to Ug for, I know you're super busy, so thank you for preparing this for us. Because we have, as some of y'all know, we just released the IVAAP 2.5, and so really excited to hear the overview and highlights of the 2.5. So just a few reminders. Please mute your mic during the presentation. And then we'll have the presentation, then we'll open up for Q&A at the end, towards like the last 15, 20 minutes. I hope everybody has their pizza, or dogs have their gourmet goat cheese ready to go, and everything. But and then of course we are recording this and we will post it on OneINT, so you can refer to it later. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Ug, and please enjoy IVAAP 2.5 release highlights.
Good morning, everybody. So my name is Ug Tevous, and here I will make a hopefully not too long presentation of IVAAP release 2.5. So let's go to the first slide. So I took just few slides from the current marketing presentation that we have about IVAAP, just to be able to, for the people who don't know very well the product. So just to understand that IVAAP, it's a platform, it's a collaborative platform where we want to visualize data, and we are focusing on oil and gas data. So the type of data that we want to visualize is seismic, well logs, reservoir data, everything related to finding oil and gas into the ground. So it's a platform, it needs to be extensible. So we have a very rich backend now with microservice based, which can also support an SDK. In terms of data, we can access multiple format and multiple type of data like databases, MongoDB, ProSource, also clouds, AWS, Azure, GCP. Etc. So next slide, you can find these slides, as I said in the marketing presentation of IVAAP. You see here the ecosystem. IVAAP is a complex application today with allowing the user to do quite a lot. It's a powerful applications. You can see the different type of data source on the left. You can see that what I will present today, it will be mostly what you can see, and that's the top of the iceberg here. So in the demo you will have today, you will see mostly what is here in the IVAAP client, but you can see there is a lot behind. So just quickly, very quick examples of what is already today available, so to be sure people understand. So here you see seismic data, you see log data, you see horizons in a 3D view. You see log data into a 2D, 1D, and 2D plots here. And also here you can see two applications done, one for OSDU and one here done for a shell SDU. Another example is OSDU again here with the map selections, but also in integration with machine learnings. You see here, this was done for OSDU on the bottom left part, where we could connect to access Jupyter and run a Python code, which will be classifying well log data. On the right side, you see another display here with what we call the bottom right side. You will see a correlation view, which is the right side of the display here, which shows recording done in multiple wells and all displays into the same within the same widget. User interpreting the data like to display or top of horizons, which are highlighted with a line between the wells here. this is to show the limit of each of the geological formations that the well is crossing. Another example of application today here is accessing PPTM database containing log data as well as schematic information. So you can see here the wellbore, the casing here. Another example of schematics here on the bottom right side, which also show coring data. So the coring data are geological rocks which are collected during the drilling and put to the surface and cut in two pieces at the middle, and then the geologist will take pictures. So here, this is the coring data. This is the pictures of the formation crossed during the drilling. It's usually oil company will core the reservoir sections into the well because it's an expensive process to do. So you will only do it when you need to do it. Another example here is with the seismics. Here we have a demonstration actually of fault picking, which is not yet released, but it's just to show you here a visualization of the seismic data in 2D and 3D. Another example is what we have done for Weatherford. For the Weatherford, we are taking care of a project called Centro, which is dedicated to drilling monitoring mostly, and will be extended in the future to maybe petrophysicals and other segment of Weatherford if it's a success. So here it's displaying well data, log data, which can be a real time, means that we can visualize data coming through using the WITSML format, and we can visualize in real time the data into the application. At the same time, for Weatherford, we developed a chatting capability, and there is a quick example here on the bottom right side of a chatting. So the chatting is not yet into the official IVAAP, but could be based on demand from the customer. Other example is Stacholi, which is a project almost finished now, so it should be delivered to the customer next month. What it shows here, it's basically an E&P web portal. So E&P means exploration and production. So it's to allow Stacholi, so the oil company, to access multiple connectors, multiple databases that they have where they are storing the data. So they could have a database for production data, another one for the log data. They can have another repository for seismic informations, etc. So we actually have a total of about 8 connectors into that project, and the user wants to be able to access all that data. So now let's go to a 2.5 release. What did we do specifically? So first 2.5, we delivered it in on March 20th. Then we got an update on the 31st, 2.5.1, and we do plan to have a 2.5.2 sometimes in April. So what was delivered in 2.5? So first on the backend side, we did some improvement for the import. We even put the capability to import and store in MongoDB the fracking data. So pumping data and fracking data, both are part of the microseismic capability. We just store the data, but we cannot, today we haven't done the client side, the visualization side, but at least we can store it. The important part also, we did index the seismics in MongoDB. So in order to get the metadata for the seismic, we store them into the MongoDB. We did the same for raster files. Raster files are information, are data scan, paper log scans actually. We support writable for fault into a blob cloud and S3. And also on the admin side, we did some work here. So if we focus on this one, we did import users in like a bulk import. We did server paginations. We did, and an important one was that we did the dictionary support for curves. So I could go to a first demo here to explain a bit more what all of this mean. So I already had a session of IVAAP open here in the admin. This is where you manage the entire application from an admin and IT perspective. So if you can see that we, as an admin here, I can see all the users. I can see which groups have been created, group of users, which projects are available, number of connectors available to me. This is pub. So number of resource are information, files, data that we want to share with all the users independently of which groups they belongs to. And then we do have import here with a lot of import capabilities available. And an important part here, which was released for 4.2.5, was a dictionary support. So what does it mean, a dictionary? That in the logging industry, when recording information into a well, this is recording a lot of information and a lot of different type of measurements which can be related to the geological information crossed, the fluid crossed, or mechanical, can be what's going on with the drilling at the time of the drilling, or also what could be happen with the rig itself during the drilling. So all this information are stored, and it creates logs, logging curves, and they all have names, which can be it can be a very long list of names. So what we did is that we can take all this dictionary information and load it into IVAAP. So when IVAAP will see a curve like this one, A01 F2CL, IVAAP will know that it's a far index capture chlorine relative yield D. So you see, the names can be very complex and can be hard to know exactly what they mean. So it's important to have a dictionary to help the user to figure out what these data are. Another part of the dictionary, the alias, it's an important part. So in the alias, what we did is the problem today that an engineer will be facing is that different logging company can record the same type of information, but each service company will have its own curve names. So it ends up to be kind of complex to build the templates because the same curve can have different names between different service companies. So what the customer wants, what the user wants in general, is to be able to define some aliases. So let's say, for example, I will take a curve called GR here, and I will say that any other name like GAM1, GAPI, GR underscore GR, or you see a GCPS, all of this is GR. So that will help for me, for the user, because now I can create a template from using GR and basically apply it to any data set which has one of those names here, and it will recognize it. Let's go back to the presentation. So that was just a quick overview of what was done in the admin. Now, other part that we delivered in IVAAP, I put a long list here. This is a 2.5, the highlights, and I will basically go for a demo of each of those points here. That will be easier for you to see what it means. So, for example, we go to the home page. What we did for the home page is to get some menus. So I'll show you what this is. This is my home page here. Now we can access a set of actions here directly from the button here or from the right click. We have the same capabilities in the different tabs that you have in the home page here. And in the browse section, we also do it. You can see here that on the right side, the same menus. So what does it do? For example, I have this chart here. I can say I want to share it with someone. I click on share, and I will say demo user, share. Now you see the tag here called sharing, which means that I'm sharing the dashboard. If I open, now I do have another instance of IVAAP open here. I refresh. Today, what we are missing, as it's in the plan, is to get an automatic update using, but right now it's not there, so you have to refresh your display. And you can see here the same dashboard called demo line chart, which is shared here. This is a demo user. In demo user, I can see the demo line chart dashboard. Next page is so the dashboard page. We did improve the mechanism of switching wells and also tracking the data in the tabular data type. So what we mean by tabular is that in IVAAP we started to develop a lot of capability for log data. So the logging data, that was a typical, it's a specific type of data, and we did a lot for it. Then over the year, we started having a lot of requests for handling basic 2D table data, flat ASCII tables data. So we started to develop also some information, some capability for that. An example here with the switching and the tabular support. Let's go to the dashboard here. I will select the dashboard called demo production. Click and I open it. Come on. Right, my internet is a little bit slow. So what it does here, that you see, I do have this dashboard has multiple widgets, bar charts, pie charts, tables, and it's related to the well 341001. So the mechanism of switching between wellbore means that when I switch here to the second well, my whole dashboard understands that it needs to update the different widgets. So I can go to another one here, and you see the everything is updated. So that was one. We did this capability. We extended that capability to the table data here, the tabular data. And another part is the cursor tracking. What you see, there's data here. This is table data, so the daily production. But it means that what we did not have before for this the data was a cursor tracking. So you see here between the pie chart, the gauge here, and the table that there is an update. Let's go back to the PowerPoint. Next was 2D seismic. We added some support which were missing before. For first, we can read VDS, and secondly, we can also display copy and paste binary and the episodic headers. So very quick example here. I think it's already opened. If I click here, I select episodic. I can see my episodic header here, and I can see the binary version as well here. And you can export directly this to the clipboard and plot and save it into your documents. So that was a requirement. Next is well log. So in well log, we added the support for Cloud Dictionary. So what I was presenting during the admin on the admin, I will show it to you here what it means. So I'll go back to my display here and select the well log display. Oh, come on. So select. So I think you will have here a better understanding of what the dictionary and alias means. This is an example here where I use the first log here to create to display some of the curves here. So GR, N5, RHOB, DT, and ILD and LMN. So when I switch dataset, what you can see is that because I said that SGRC was an alias of GR, IVAAP is capable of taking SGRC because it did not find GR. Same with the RHOB. I was able to say in the alias dictionary that SBDC was an alias of RHOB. So the system is capable of understanding that. Same with the resistivity here with the ILD and ILM. When I switch data set, I do not have ILD, but I do have SCDP, SCMP, SCSP. So I said that these were alias of ILM, so the system was able to find them. Same when I switch to another well here. In this one, I have GRD for GR, for example, and I do have ZDEN for RHOB, so the system can recognize it. For well log, we also did other view functionality, like one was requested from PO, was the ability to scan data sets with a fit to screen, means the whole interval visible. So when I select this, I click on this icon here, I fit to plot, and it's independent of the scale. When I switch well, the system will take the whole interval and display it into the plot. Same here. As long as the mode is on, the system will take the whole interval and plot it. That's a useful capability when you want to scan across multiple data sets and have an overview of what the content is. As soon as you zoom, you see the mode disappear. So now you will be in a specific scale, and that scale will be the same while you change when you change data set. Another thing we added is to display the scale here in the header of the index trunk, which was not there before, and yeah, was not there before. Another part is the extended header that was requested by Weatherford. So an example of extended header, when I click export here, and I want to plot this log here, I can select header, here visible, and I can select, I will select one default that we have today, which INT default, and export it. So it's taking it's using keywords, so it will be using the exact well name that I have selected. You can see the well name and the log name. That will be what will be displayed here. You can see the well name. Right now, we only use the keyword as the well name as keywords available in this wells here. So it took them. But if we had defined field, platform, company operator, you will have seen them visible here. So that's just a very basic extended header, and customers have usually far more complex headers to attach to their displays. Back, so we have correlations. So quickly on the correlations, it was a big part, an important part of the release of this release. So I will select, so this is a correlation here. What we did for the correlation is that we added the support for raster logs. That was a strong request for, it was part of the project that we had with TGS. So, and as I said before, a raster log is a scan of paper logs. In the old days, the logs into the well, the measurements to the well were printed on paper. So in the US, there is millions of paper logs still today, and all companies still are using them because when they want to make new wells into a specific field, an old field existing in the US, they will look at whatever was done in the past. So here is one of those raster log, and it can have multiple segments. So let me go to the first one to explain what this means. So we also have a tiling system, and it requests on demand. And so you could see that when I scrolled, there is a delay, because in fact we are downloading only what is visible for the. So here we can change the resolution. You see, it's pretty hard to visualize the content of the raster, because you need to find the right scale to it. So one thing you can do is that when you right click on it and you see the segments will tell you 5 inch per 100 feet. Example, so that will be 1 inch per 20 feet. So that will be, when I do that, I will have here the specific scale which was used while recording doing the scan and recording on paper, basically. That's the scale which was on the paper log. You see here it's a bit better, you see a bit better the information, because we are now showing the exact scale that was used. Let's go to the next one. You see this one it's kind of ugly, because I'm sure this is not the scale. This is not the right scale, but an important part in the correlation that you zoom in, zoom out in all the wells visible. So I could always trigger this little icon here. So I will only change the scale on that well here. If I right click on this one, I see that it's 1 inch for 100 feet. I go back here and let's change that to 1 inch for 100 feet. That should be the proper scale which was on the paper log. And you see now it's a lot better, actually, better quality. Also, in the raster, the smart raster, they can scan multiple segments, so they are all into the same definition. So, like the definition we have here for this one here. So in the same file here, in that file, we will have multiple segments, and we can select one of them. So I can take another segment. And for this segment, the scale is again a different scale on the paper. So 5 inch per 100 feet. So I can go back and change again the scale on this one to 1 inch per 20 feet. So that would be the specific scale for that record. So you can go on and on like this for each of the wells. And that's what geologists will do. So if I give you an overview here, it's just to, I will not do much more than that here in the demonstration. It's a bit slow. Oh, okay. So this is what we have. You see the different wells where we suppose. I suppose here a template, which is my electronic curves, and the paper log on the back. Another part we can do is that we can switch. We can change the log display here. So I can go to, for example, this one. In this one, I only created a template with just the logs, the electronic curves, not the paper logs. So you can see there is no raster display. So it's very flexible. You can switch from one to another template in one click. So that's that was one of the requirements for TGS. Right. So now we can go quickly for the remaining part of the release here. Did the correlation. Now we look at the table. So quickly on the table, we did quite a lot. Again, we try to satisfy the requirements for tabular data. I think I have, so I will go back to my initial dashboard. So let's go to this one, table. What we added for the table was the ability to customize a table. For example, here I put in two tables, and I did ability to show hide some of the columns. For example, here I can add different columns, and I can reorganize them. See here, and I can save that as part of my my template. So that's a that's an important part. This is not, this is again, this is table data, not logs. And another part, we can also directly generate a state definition on a specific column. That's a very useful capability. For example, I select state definition, create and select continuous, for example. So it auto generate. We did put like 5 classes, and we can let the user defining what they want. So for example, here we say 3000. And we'll remove this one. So here, and I will change the colors. So if I save that as my gas one, save, close. Now it will apply this state definition directly into the table. So that's a useful functionality, and you can reuse that state definition anywhere you want. Another part for the table was a fit to width. You can, for example, make sure that you can resize your. You can make sure that your table is maximized based on the available space. Fit to width. All right. Let's go back to the plot. So the line charts. Very simple for line charts. What we did is we added a capability to select a predefined range. For example, you have 1 week. So we have a set of predefined range, which could be extended. And also this is also available from the right click, from the dialog on the right side. So I can go 1 week, 1 month, 6 months, a year. So that's a useful capability for time-based data. And also we have what we call the lock. So this is lock or unlock. What it means is that for data like production data, there is a lot of tables, and many of them have fixed names between wells. So we wanted to have an ability to make sure that if I select daily production table, and if I had multiple tables in my wells, whatever I do, that chart will be dedicated to daily production and not to any other tables. Bar chart, very similar in bar chart. We added in bar chart. Here is an example of bar charts. We added the range, the same. So you can. No, I was on bar chart. Well, yes, I was on bar chart. Excuse me. Line chart and bar chart have the same. They have the same capabilities. Then we go to the pie chart. So amelioration for the pie charts. One we did is to allow to use multiple columns of the same table into the pie chart. So we basically make the pie chart supporting multiple series. So very quickly, take here an example. I take a bar chart. I said I want to use that table. Like I want to be in multi-series mode. Then I do have all the series. I can select which column of my I want to use in my chart, in my pie chart here. So now I'm making a pie chart directly from oil, gas, and water. And you can associate a state definition to this one. Also save. You could, yeah. All right. Next, time series. Time series improvements. So time series, we make time series to better support the tabular data. We had before some very too specific toolbar icons, and we did change that, and also we allowed time series to be multi-dataset support. So a quick example on the time series, what it means. I think my internet is going pretty slow, so I will skip. No, okay. So if I open the time series part, it's a menu. Okay, so I go to the last one is the gauge. So we added a new gauge. We added a new gauge to track the data for the dedicated to the productions. It can be used anywhere, but this gauge was done first to satisfy a need for the Stasholi, a project with Stasholi. It's a very simple gauge. It's not based on the toolkit, but we had to do it quickly, and actually it gives quite some flexibility. So this is a gauge here. You can change. We put some icons, so you can change the icons, and you can hide some of the property. So it's a very simple gauge. You just drag. You just select which column of the table you want to display, and it will display. Also, it's tracking, so it's cursor track between the widgets. You can see that when I'm moving in table, it updates the gauge as well, and as well as it does it in the pie chart. So that was basically what was done for this. For this 2.5, that was the highlights. You can, for people who don't know IVAAP, it might be a bit difficult to follow, but basically what we do in IVAAP is to make sure we can satisfy use cases from customer projects. So we have right now we have, for example, project with Total in France. We have projects with Petronas, with projects with here with Weatherford, Stasholi, Shell, etc. So can go to what will be the highlight for the coming release very quickly. We have a release in 252 in end of April about. What we want to do there is to provide an improvement for the time series, which is urgently requested by France, by Total, for the project with Total, excuse me. So it's quite it's a complex one, and we are working on it right now. Also for the seismic, there was some improvement for big volumes. If we go to 253, we will have an update in May, I guess, for 253 related mostly to the OSDU. For OSDU, there is a new release called R2, and it will include some updates for the search, and also maybe also support the seismic. But at the same time, we will update the dictionary because we still have some use cases in dictionary to support. It's not perfect yet, so we still have some stuff to do on it. And there may be improvement for the seismic, like the compression in 3D. In 2.6, so that would be the next big release that it's planned by about, we say, end of spring. What we want to do for the 2.6, that would be a very ambitious one. We want to first update the toolkit, but there will be a first release of the client SDK. Also, there will be a release of a dialog generator. We want to be able to use that dialog generator for the SDK, but also for let's say managing input/output from external process that we want to plug in IVAAP, like machine learning processing, where we will want the user to be able to access a dialog to set some parameters. Also, we have a report generator, hopefully, so that this is part also from a request from potential projects with Pemex. We want to be able to update to create reports automatically. Improvements. So we will have a lot of improvement, but for example, we want to be able to have to manage the events. Like for example, in one of the first demo I did here was to share a template, and when I wanted to show you on the other account what was happening, I had to refresh the page. So we want to avoid having to do that. It means that when a user will share a template with someone else, this other person will automatically be notified and be able to see that template. So we want to be able to do that for template, but also for importantly for data, because if a project is updated, we want to make sure that any user looking at the same project can have its client updated. We will also support want to support for OpenVDS. We have a lot of mechanisms related to tracking, tracking between widgets, switching between parent nodes into the data tree, like the wellbore. And so we want to make sure all of these problems are resolved. We want to also have a complete support of the dictionary across the whole application. We're working right now also on the fault and horizon pickings that's done in Po. Hopefully it will be released for 2.6. And also there is a new widget that we did for Stasholi. That's a well event widget. That widget is dedicated to the drilling, and it's will be available for the 2.6. In terms of UX, we are redesigning the mechanism we have behind the scene for the theming. So we want to release it for the 2.6, and also it will include some of the design that Dato did for us a few months ago. And a bit further into the future, by the end of the year, we should have a 3.0. So in 3.0, what we want is to move from going out of React and go for a view, and we will at the same time review all the UX. Want to make sure that the admin also is following that and will be more integrated into the IVAAP client. Right now, the admin is using Angular. So we want to make it going for view at the same time. There will be more updates of the SDK, also the dialog generator, and want to support internationalization. And there is quite a long list of future tasks that I did not put here, but will be part of the 3.0. So that's conclude my presentation. So it's a bit long. If you have any question, let me know.
Does anybody have any questions?
No, very good.
One comment, it looks extremely nice. I mean, personally, I see a lot of improvement on the UX, and it's very nice to see.
I have a question. Is it possible to download dashboard from some kind of portal, or new customers need to start from scratch each time? Because sometimes it's really hard to create new dashboard. So yes, you have capabilities of downloading the templates, and you can download widget templates or dashboard templates and upload them into another account. Yes. No, I mean, are we going to provide some portal to create to share dashboards with customers? Oh, okay. That's not me to decide, but that could be something for
the publish, Hugues. The publish wouldn't satisfy that, no?
No, I mean having a portal, an INT portal for we already have pub, but we could, but it's not. We cannot say it's a portal. It's a demo. It's a demo of the capabilities.
Can't we deliver some dashboards out of the box, just available to everyone?
You can deliver a dashboard templates, yes, not dashboard, because so there is a differentiation between both. So when we say dashboard, a dashboard in IVAAP will contain the templates and the address to the data, while a template only contains the template information. So it's extendable. You can take a template and apply it to any new data.
Yeah, so technically we can provide out of the box a library of templates that based on the needs the customer can apply.
Mm-hmm.
Does this, Ivan, does this answer your question? Like, does it work?
That could be possible, yes. We could effectively, a good point, we could have a repository on AWS or somewhere, or on accessible from INT website with a login where you can take templates already made available, publicly available, and use them, upload them to your IVAAP. Yeah.
Sasha, it was just a part of my question, how to start from scratch if you don't have any dashboard. If I'm a new customer, how I'm starting from scratch if I don't have any dashboard?
We provide on Pub, when we do have a set of basic templates available, so we could have and we can extend it. Right now, for a new user in Pub, we copy some of the basic templates and dashboard that we have, so the user doesn't start from nothing.
So maybe it's a good idea to have a portal or something to download, just to view dashboard as preview and download if I like it.
Yeah, would be a good idea. Yes, we'll keep that. We'll put a note on that. Also, we do have the sharing capability, which with 2.5 works a lot better than before, which means that for a new user, if we make him for example, we will share a set of dashboard to a group, and the new user belongs to that group. This new user will see the shared template. So on the homepage, the new user will not start from nothing. If he will be able to get quite a lot now from the first click.
Okay, any other questions?
Yes, I have one question regarding raster logs. You mentioned that you're using TGS for TGS project. There's smart raster log.
Yeah.
So what does consist exactly when they say smart raster? What does this mean? You're able to extract curves, or?
Yeah. So the difference is that a raster log itself is just a scan, a TIFF file of basically what's basically just a TIFF file. The difference is that in a raster log, we also have a configuration file, which is generated by the person doing the scanning. So with a specific tool in TGS, you can scan a log, and then what you will do is that you will match the depth. First, when you scan a paper log, the paper log has folds, and so when you scan it at the folds, usually you have deformations. So and usually also the scan is not straight, and you will have variations laterally as well. So the configuration file is able to first position in depth, to have the specific depth, so you know when the 2000 meters into the scan means 2000 meters. So with that configuration file, when you put it in IVAAP, we can position the raster log at the exact depth.
Okay.
So if you have just the raster file.
So actually, we can toggle the display between the corrected and the non-corrected rasters, so that you can see what the correction has done and whether you agree with it.
Okay. Yeah. And my second question, you have been presenting a screenshot from Statsoli, the one showing the map and the map selection. Mm-hmm. Is it something you're going to implement in 2.6 or?
So yes, we have planned for 2.6 to also, I did not go into the detail here, but yes, we want to extend we did use Statsoli as a test because the map selection in IVAAP was not very good. It was it's a bit problematic. So we used Statsoli to try and believe that what is in Statsoli works pretty well. So yes, we want to as part of 2.6 you will have a better map selection,
okay.
Object selection on map.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, anybody else?
Well, thanks, Hugh. If there's no more question, it was a good presentation.
Thank you, everybody, for attending.
Thank you. Thank you so much again, Oog. It was a really great presentation, and I think a lot of people enjoyed it. And like I said, this is being recorded, so we will have it up on OneINT, so you can refer to it later. If there's no other questions, I guess this concludes our tech talk, and you can go on the rest of your day. Again, thank you, Oog, for a great presentation, and hope to talk to everybody soon.
Thank you.
Awesome, Oog.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.